Okay, here's some examples. So in this case, you're asked to do a number of different things. So first of all, factorizing. I think this is very similar to the one that I went through earlier. So we're looking for two numbers that multiply together to give minus 15 and combine together to give positive 2. So just think about your factors. So 5, 3 is probably jumping to mind. One is going to have to be positive, one's going to have to be negative. So plus 5 minus 3. Doesn't matter the order that you write that. If you wrote the other way around, then that's fine. So that's it factorized. Complete the square. Now, a reminder of complete the square. Again, if any of this doesn't make complete sense, maybe go back onto Hecty Maths, have a look through them. Complete the square, we've got half the coefficient of the x term, and completing the square is always in this form. So we half the coefficient, so we end up with 1. Now, x plus 1 all squared would create x squared plus 2x, but you created an extra 1, which means that we're going to have to take away that 1 again, and then we've got to take away 15. Now, minus 1 take away 15 is minus 16, so in completed the square, it's x plus 1 all squared, take away 16. Now, the reason for completing the square, this actually gives us the turning point. Now, I can't remember what turning point is, go back through the slides and you'll see. But it's minus 1, minus 16. So the turning point of this graph would be minus 1, minus 16. So I can put that in there. The intercepts, so our x-intercepts, that's taken from the factorized form. So it's going to be minus 5 and 3. Now again, if they want them as coordinates, we're going to have to put in minus 5, 0, 3, 0. And then finally, it's wanting a quick sketch. Now, oops, let me just go back. What's this pen? Oh, I've gone the wrong way. Oh, missed it. Disaster. Need to make sure I don't press that button. Oh, the button's still pressed. Right, sorry. Right, hopefully we're back. Now, I was about to just say that my sketch is going to be quite hard with this pen that I've got. Basically, we need to mark in minus 5. We need to mark in 3. We need to the turning point minus 1, 16, somewhere down here. We need the y-intercept. So what we need to do is figure out the y-intercept. Y-intercept is when x is equal to 0. So that would just equal 0, so it's minus 15. Now, obviously that sketch kind of goes something like that. And again, you should probably mark on these points. I'm not going to do it. Just going to, actually, I probably could do, but no, I'm not going to. A bit too hard to do it. Okay, next example. Again, factorizing. So I was looking for a double bracket. Remember, if you struggle to factorize, you can always complete the square, and that will always give you the two answers. If it says leave it in third form, it probably means that you're wanting to complete the not wanting to complete the square. You could do that, but you're probably wanting to use the quadratic formula. So again, x, 24 is always a tricky one. There's loads of factors of 24, 1 and 24, 2 and 12. So you got 8 and 3, 6 and 4. We've got to try and make positive 2. So if we think 12 take away 2, I think that's going to, no, 12 take away 2 gives me 10. What am I talking about? So what we're looking, 6, 8. No, what am I doing? 6, 8 is 48. My mind's going blank here. So we're looking at, let me just write them down. 1, 24, 2, 12, 3, 8, 4, 6. There we go, 6 and 4. So it needs to be positive 6, take away 4. Sorry, that took me a long time to get there. Just double check, 6 times minus 4 is minus 24, plus 6, take away 4 gets me 2, and then that's it, factorized. Complete the square, we've got half the coefficient, so I'm going to put in bracket. That's the way the complete square always looks. because there's no coefficient there, if there's a coefficient there, it becomes slightly harder, but I'm not going to spend time doing that right now. Again, Hegarty math if you want to push yourself a bit more. But we have done completing the square before, or at least my classes have. Half the 2, you get 1. So we get x plus 1 again. Now again, x squared plus 1x plus 1x gets me 2x. I've created an extra 1, so I've got to take away that 1, because 1 times 1 is 1. And I've still got my takeaway 24, which means we get x plus 1 all squared take away 25. Now the intercepts, well, our x-intercepts are going to be minus 6 and 4. So that's minus 6, 0, 4, 0. I'll do them in coordinates this time. I didn't in the previous example. I just realized it said intercepts and I didn't do the y-intercept in that previous one, but I did show you how you get it. And for the y-intercept, it's going to be when y is equal to 0. Sorry, when x is equal to 0, which means if I put in my x is equal to 0, then I get minus 24. So we get minus 24. Turning point is, that's told from the completing the square. So the turning point is minus 1, minus 25. That's the turning point. And then finally the sketch, again, I may struggle with this. Minus 1, minus 25. So somewhere down here, we've got minus 6 and 4, minus 24. So again, it's slightly higher. And quadratic should be oh, that's a terrible drawing. Quadratic should be a curve. Okay, so again, hope that helps there. Let me just click the stop sharing.